Welcome to the series of videos where all your questions about the video game industry will be replied with 100% accuracy. Let just me move the microphone a little closer to my mouth because you will want to hear what's about to happen. Because we will ask ChatGPT, the most advanced chat AI that we have so far, to get us the right answers for all of our questions. So without any further ado, let's just get started with the one question that we have for this video. And as I am a very friendly person and I hate to see anyone fighting, we will start with a very friendly question. We're gonna discover today what you already saw in the thumbnail and in the title. We are gonna discover which one is the best brand of gaming consoles, Nintendo, PlayStation, or the Xbox. So this advanced research started with me asking directly to ChatGPT which one is the best, PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo. We don't want any kind of answers that just say, it's the best for you, you are the one who chooses. No, we just want the truth, the ultimate truth. Yeah, but what we didn't want was exactly what we got. Empty answers. Here it says that ChatGPT is not biased towards any of the brands, but if we keep watching, I think that in the end we will be able to come up with a very clear answer. It's basically saying that it depends on your taste and what you value the most. It also points out two advantages that the PlayStation have: the exclusive, the library of exclusives, and also the VR capability. It talks a little bit about the Xbox because of the backwards compatibility. What a hard word to say. And also some exclusive online services. So basically it's all about the services. But it's pointing this out, having in consideration the information of 2021, because ChatGPT only has information up to 2021. And at that time, PlayStation didn't have a very good service of game streaming or Xbox Game Pass version of the PlayStation. And it's pointing out that Nintendo is known because of the family-friendly games and innovative hardware. Yeah, I think the innovative hardware gets a little not so innovative after so many years without an update. So I could say that if we consider the information that we have from this question, I would automatically discard Nintendo of this competition. And why? Why? Because no one wants family-friendly games. We want to see blood, we want to see violence. That's what excites us the most about the video games. That's why Mortal Kombat changed the entire industry when it was released. I'm just kidding, but being kinda serious, I would love to see a Pokemon game made for adults. At this point, I didn't think that one question was enough to get the answer we were looking for. So I jumped to my second question. Which console brand has the best graphics? Because this is everything that everybody wants to know about. And the answer it gave me to the graphic question was the best. That all of the three consoles nowadays have very good graphics. Yeah. Did you ever play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield? But basically the answer that it gave us is that the Nintendo Switch is a little less capable than the Xbox and PlayStation. But it also said something interesting about the Nintendo that made my mind change completely from the previous question. It says the Nintendo focused mainly on the gameplay and the actual game instead of graphics. And we all already know my opinion about that. Based on that answer, I would definitely consider that the best one is Nintendo. But as I am not everyone and most people seem to only care about horsepower, speed and graphic and realism, yeah, I think that for this competition, Nintendo was out. So now after this question, I think that it's a little easier for us to change the direction a little bit and ask more specific questions to come up with a solution, with an answer for our question. Which one is the best, PlayStation or the Xbox? What are the advantages of PlayStation over the Xbox? Summarizing this huge answer that it gave us, basically it says that the main advantage of PlayStation is their exclusives. And yep, I kinda have to agree here too, because although we have very good exclusives on the Xbox side like Halo, Gears of War and Forza, for example, we have to count with the amount of good exclusives. And in this criteria, yeah, Sony is a step ahead because it has many more good exclusive games than the Xbox. So in terms of quality, yes, it's debatable what you prefer. It's not the same that everybody else prefer and vice versa. But in terms of quantity, yeah, we can pretty much measure it. We cannot talk about the future because there are many games that are gonna come out exclusively for the Xbox and PC by ZeniMax, for example. And we also don't know for sure what's gonna happen with the Activision Blizzard purchase. So yeah, in terms of exclusives, things can change in the future and we have reasons to believe that it will at least be a draw in the future. But as for the time of this recording, I think that yeah, PlayStation has an edge here. It also mentioned VR as an advantage for the PlayStation, and I kinda agree with that because you have VR in the PlayStation and you don't on the Xbox, but I don't consider it to be so relevant because VR is still very new and still very niche. While it will be relevant for a few people, it won't be for everyone. So yeah, I'll count it as an advantage, but a very small one because it will please only a very small amount of people. It also mentioned another thing that is not an advantage as the video streaming apps like Netflix and Hulu and so on, because the Xbox already have them too. But then it mentions Blu-ray. Who in the hell uses Blu-ray these days? With the popularization of streaming, Blu-ray is pretty much dead. And if you are among the people who is still using Blu-ray to watch movies and TV shows, you probably are aware that you are a rare person. And finally, the worst mention as an advantage that is not an advantage at all is the cross-platform capability. Let me tell you something, if it's cross-platform, I think you already know where I'm going with that. It's because the other consoles also have it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be cross, you know? So yeah, cross-platform is just an advantage for both. So why did you mention it? ChatGPT, almighty of information. And finally, it talks about the user interface, but I honestly think this is not relevant at all. If it's not total garbage, it won't make a difference in a home playing console, like in the competition. If I had to choose between not having God of War, not having The Last of Us, or having a terrible user interface, I would choose to have good games every single day of the week. So not important. Then it was time to invert the question and ask what are the advantages that Xbox has against PlayStation. And again, then mention the backwards compatibility. At this point, it seems like it's their only argument. I know you can say the same about the exclusives when it comes to the PlayStation, but again, relevancy, please consider it. Basically, yes, backwards compatibility is an advantage, although it's not as big as the actual good exclusives that each generation brings us. It also mentions the online services again, but PlayStation Plus now is almost as good as the Xbox Game Pass. I won't count this as an advantage nowadays because I have both. I consider them to be equally good. The only advantage that I have in the PlayStation side is that I prefer the catalog that is over there. And I prefer the services in the Xbox Game Pass side because I play the Xbox Game Pass games through my Mac using a browser just because I have the Xbox controller. So for me, it's a draw in this term, it's not an advantage. And then it mentions the controller, that it says it has better ergonomics. And for me, I have to say I agree with that. I'm a 6'4" tall guy and I have pretty huge hands. This is an iPhone Pro Max. My hand is even bigger than an iPhone Pro Max, 12 Pro Max. So I can say I'm in the exception zone of people that are too big that nothing is made to us. And considering this, yeah, the ergonomics of the Xbox Series controller is way better than the PlayStation 5. I just feel that it fits better. The grip, it doesn't move in your hand while you are playing it. And the rounded shape of the PS5 controller, I have to use considerable strength to hold the controller in a comfortable position, not to slide and end up like in a weird position. It's hard to explain, but the Xbox controller is way more comfortable to use, mainly when we are talking about many hours of gameplay. But again, I think in terms of controller as a whole, it would be a draw too, because the new features of the DualSense are stunning. They are very good. The adaptive trigger are excellent. You feel the force on the triggers, the vibration of the triggers is amazing. And the ergonomics in the Xbox controller, that for me also makes a huge difference. So it's not an advantage for the Xbox too. And finally, it mentions the performance, but I never had any noticeable hiccups on my PlayStation 5. So I wouldn't count this as an advantage, because even if it is better, if it has best graphics, more FPS, I think the performance on the PlayStation 5 is so good nowadays that the small difference between this one and the Xbox Series X wouldn't be a noticeable thing, only if you compare side by side. And honestly, in the overall game experience, it wouldn't make any difference. The conversation would be completely different if we had too many limitations in the PS5, but this is not the case. It mentions other things that I honestly feel it's not relevant at all, like the connection between the Xbox and the Windows operating system. So if you know what this could be used for as a worthy advantage to mention in a video, let me know in the comments below, because I don't see this as a big deal. So basically the conclusion that we have here is that the Xbox is a little better in terms of services overall, and the PlayStation is the best in terms of games. So now I had an idea. Let's ask, what is more important, games or services? In this case, instead of calling it services, I even called features to give a slightly bigger edge to the Xbox. And again, it said, ChatGPT can be very boring, that it depends on what you consider to be the best, but it said their importance depends on the individual's user preference. Games are the primary reason people buy consoles. If PlayStation has the best games and the exclusive games are the most important part, then I think we have our answer. It's not my opinion. It's not your opinion. It doesn't matter the comments of hate you're gonna write. According to ChatGPT, PlayStation is the best gaming console. I'm not saying this, ChatGPT is. And by the way, in my personal opinion, I'm a PC gamer. I prefer to play on the PC than in a console, so this conversation doesn't even matter for me. PlayStation is a better console. This is my conclusion from what we see here. So basically, it's not worth it to be angry with me. If you want to punch someone in the face because of their opinion, saying that PlayStation is the best, you can punch ChatGPT in the face because they are the ones who said it. Although I don't know how you can do this without breaking your computer or being arrested because you invaded OpenAI, but that's up to you if you want to express your anger. Let me know if you like this idea. I know this is just a joke. Don't take this seriously. I know that in AI don't have its own real opinion, and it's just based on the fun. This is not like factual, so don't take this video too serious. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop it a like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. And if you want to watch a video about one of the most hyped games of the moment, Hogwarts Legacy, you can click on this video right here. I think it's right here, but you can click on the video to watch it. You won't regret it. The review is very good, and I believe in my job, I believe in my quality. So yeah, you can go watch it and let me know your opinion in the comments of that video. I'm Lucas Allen, and see you in the next video. Bye bye. Thank you. Ciao. Bye. Adios.